Breaking news, showings are canceled tonight at the Tinseltown Theater in Gates. The movie theater was evacuated after authorities say large groups of teenagers started causing chaos inside. Good evening, I'm Carla Rogner. Police say the theater was busy today because of National Cinema Day, and tickets were offered for just $4. At 13 Wham, Stephanie Joseph is live outside the theater with an update from police. Stephanie?
Well, Carla, the theater is still closed. As you can see behind me, an empty lot. And this was after the theater was evacuated earlier this evening. Now, multiple police departments were responding to Tinseltown earlier today. Officers decided to evacuate the movie theater as large crowds formed and caused a disturbance. They could not tell us what that disturbance was or what exactly caused it. Nearby businesses closed as police say groups of unsupervised teens spread out across the area. They were reportedly here for cheap tickets on National Cinema Day when things took a turn.
Somewhere between about 4:30, 5 o'clock, the atmosphere started to change and there was just issues amongst the different theaters. And again, just for the safety of those who were not involved in not causing the disturbance, we decided to evacuate.
Police say no weapons were involved and no injuries were reported. Tinseltown is expected to reopen tomorrow.
Some Canandaigua homeowners are still looking for relief after flooding devastated the area last month. Governor Hochul announced that up to $3 million would go to 8 counties across the state to help homeowners with flood repairs. But as 13 Wham Stephanie Joseph reports, a woman who applied is still waiting to hear back. Stephanie?
Carla, it has been 2 weeks since the launch of the Affordable Housing Corporation's flood assistance program. Tammy Janess tells me filling out the 33-page application was harder than getting a mortgage.
They did not make it an easy process for anybody to qualify. And from what I'm hearing on the street, nobody's qualifying.
Tammy Janess is waiting to hear if she will receive emergency funding through the state's flood assistance program. Back in July, more than 5 feet of water filled Tammy's basement and caused structural damage. She had to pull out of her 401k to pay for repairs. And while Janess has flood insurance, she says it doesn't cover everything.
It only covers one outbuilding. So we had to make a decision on which outbuilding we wanted to claim. So we claimed the big barn instead of the small barn or the garage. So anything in those 2 buildings are a total loss.
Janess says the 33-page application for state funding has limitations that are difficult to navigate.
There's a lot of things that aren't included in the application that day-to-day people have as expenditures, like student loans, things like that.
Janess also says the application does not mention reimbursement for repairs she already had to pay for on her furnace and hot water tank.
We would have had to wait until we get approved in order to purchase those. And I don't know who would go 3 months without electricity.
Right.
That's insane. There should be a reimbursement for people that are taking out loans or whatever to get their utilities back.
As they wait to hear back, she and her family will continue to clean up.
There's just no end in sight. I mean, you can come back in a year and I think we'll still be trying to fix this or that.
The governor's office tells us that 105 applications have been submitted for aid. There's been no indication of when homeowners will receive that money.
Police say the victim, 28-year-old Javante Huff, was killed by a stray bullet after a fight at the gas station escalated to gunfire. 13 Wham Stephanie Joseph met with the victim's family.
It's hard when you wake up every day to the same child and he's not here no more.
Regina McFadden can't believe her son Javante Huff is gone.
Javante was very silly, very happy all the time. He wasn't a kid that was angry. He never had no malice in his heart against no one.
According to police, Huff was killed by a stray bullet in the parking lot of a Sunoco gas station on Dewey Avenue around 4 a.m. on Saturday. It happened after a fight between multiple people in that lot. Officers say 2 people in a car then turned around and opened fire. Huff was not the intended target.
That morning, he got off work at 1:30. He said, "Mom, can I go to the store to get some cigarettes?" And he never came back. He just was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
An 18 and 19-year-old have been charged with second-degree murder in Huff's death. Police say they were involved in a separate drive-by shooting later that day.
It's just heartbreaking just to know, like, even after you took one life, you didn't even stop, and say, okay, let me turn myself in.
I don't get to see my son no more. The two young people, they get to go to jail. They get to still live. They still get to touch, feel, move. I don't have a son anymore, so I don't know how that's justice for me.
Even with their arrests, Huff's mother says she is still looking for justice.
I hope they suffer like I'm suffering.
The two teens charged with Huff's murder are Navir Stewart and Talia Arroyo. They will be arraigned in Rochester City Court tomorrow morning. Huff's family says they plan to be there.